This is a Sheridanlife Radio podcast.
Welcome to Slipstream, a bi-weekly podcast on all things F1 and F1 culture. We're bringing you the most relevant news from what goes on in the races, news, and speculations in the 2026 season.
All right, so what is new in the 2026 season?
Well, we got new racers, we got new drivers, we got two new teams. Two
new teams.
Yeah, two new teams. Well, technically two new teams. There's Audi and there's Cadillac. Audi was kind of just turned from Sauber to Audi. Because Audi decided to buy all the shares of Sauber and they turned it into the Audi team. But
that's right.
They kept the same drivers. It's pretty much the same, but now it's
but Cadillac is brand new.
But Cadillac is brand new. But what isn't new is the drivers they took. They have two somewhat veteran drivers who were there in the previous seasons, weren't there 2025 season, and they're back. So we got Sergio Perez.
Checo Perez,
as he's called, and Valtteri Bottas.
Right. So both second drivers. I don't think they have been first drivers. I think, Sergio or Checo Perez has been the second driver for Max before getting replaced.
Yeah, in Red Bull for a number of years.
Right. But I know with Checo and Max, they had some incidents. Do you recall, like back in, 2020? It wasn't 4.
Checo was on Red Bull from 2020 to 2024, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was the 2024 season that basically something happened in Monaco, and then Max, he could have helped Checo, I think, place second for the constructors, constructors, like the World Championship. And basically Max didn't help Checo. And then they had this like big kind of argument and fight being like, because Checo was like, I have to defend Max all the time. Like, I do my job of defending Max, and Max didn't return the favor. And Max said something about, like, Monaco.
And you know what? Checo wasn't on the team the next year. So, like...
Yeah, and I think it also comes to show that, like, the point difference between Max and Checo were just too great. The disparity. And also, I think it's been weighing in Checo's mind that, like, in the beginning of the 2024 season, he was a contender for a world championship, but at a certain point, it just became unfathomable.
Yeah. And then there's also Valtteri Bottas, who was the second for Mercedes under Lewis Hamilton for many years. But Bottas only ever had 10 wins and was very much the second to Hamilton, was just kind of coasting along with Mercedes. Though he did have his moments and he was consistently getting in the top half positions, he was never the one for any team.
I think Bottas is an all-round smooth driver, definitely more on the defensive side, and he's not an aggressive driver like some other drivers. And I think him just being a smooth all-rounder really helped him solidify himself in Mercedes. But yeah, it wasn't like the Silver Era War where it was Lewis versus Nico, where they were both really aggressive against each other. Bottas did a better job of becoming the second driver and the team player that Mercedes really wanted.
Yeah. And then in other changes, Red Bull had some big movement around, not necessarily in the Red Bull team, but in their Racing Bulls team. So first off, Tsunoda, who's been in F1 for a very long time, he's cut.
Yeah.
He's no longer in the Racing Bulls team, which is the secondary to the Red Bulls.
Yeah.
So he's gone. And then in the Racing Bulls team, we have Lawson, who was last year was on the full Red Bull team. And so he swapped positions with Isaac Hadjar, who's now in Red Bull, and Lawson is in Racing Bulls. And then there's a new rookie as well, Lindblad, who joined Racing Bulls.
Is it Arvid Lindblad?
I think so,
yeah.
Lindblad.
He is one of the 3 top youngest drivers in F1 to join. I believe Max joined when he was 17 years old, something similar with Kimi Antonelli, and he is 18 years old, doesn't have a driver's license right now.
But he can drive F1.
He can, because he has a super license which allows him to drive in F1 but not legal roads, which is crazy.
Yeah, joining Racing Bulls, that seems good as a rookie. Like, hopefully there's a lot for him this season, and he does good throughout it in his rookie season.
Right now, he's doing pretty solid, I find, but it's just kind of strange to have Max's second driver switch all the time.
Yeah.
Although Isaac Hadjar he was doing pretty good in the start. I know, especially in the first race of 2026, which was in Australia.
Yeah, Melbourne.
Right? Melbourne. his car had functionality and reliability issues, which caused him to not finish in the race. But I think, yeah, no, Isaac Hajar has been doing pretty good so far. We'll see as the season progresses how well he can match up to Max.
Yeah, definitely. It was an unfortunate start to the season for him having a DNF. There were many cars who DNF'd in this past race,
Yeah.
but we'll get into that later.
What was the biggest change about the current season car is that they decided to go half electric, half fuel.
Oh,
And
that's interesting.
you didn't know this.
I didn't know this.
This is like the biggest thing. Oh my god. Yeah, so it's, and then they're also going very eco-conscious, so they're trying to be eco-friendly with all the fuel. So the fuel has to be from whether it's like carbon waste, stuff like that. So they're trying to really cut down and become more eco-friendly as a motorsport, which is kind of wow. I mean, even in the beginning, normally the races start in Qatar. That's like,
Yeah.
and normally they end in Abu Dhabi. But the fact that we're starting in Melbourne and then going to China and then like
Yeah.
to like the Asian countries, like it makes more sense in terms of calendar, but it was like a fresh start. But not only that, they got rid of the DRS, the drag reduction system, which is back then as like the previous year or the years before, you had this button that would open the flap in your rear wing that
Yeah.
allowed you to overtake a driver, but it could only be used in DRS zones for a certain amount of seconds. And it basically allowed the cars to have a better push and better downforce in terms of overtaking the other car. And now they got completely rid of that system.
Yeah.
So now they have it so your rear wing can open, not the they don't call it the DRS. And then the front wing can also open.
Oh, interesting.
And they have different modes. Now the drivers have to deal with conserving whether you're using fuel, whether you're recharging your battery,
Yeah.
whether you're opening up your front and rear wings to overtake someone. Now it's become a lot more strategic in terms of like the driver's own personal style instead of having to rely on the DRS zone. Like this is when you
Yeah,
can do
yeah.
the DRS. Yeah.
So it's a lot more freedom for the drivers now. They get to make the choice themselves and with the team, obviously. But
Right.
they're going to be a lot more conscious and not just press the button when they get into the zone. Like as Leclerc said in this past race, it's like getting the mushroom in Mario Kart.
Yeah. The thing about starting is that you have to have different choices in terms of like the start was different because you're using your fuel and then like the time it takes to accelerate and stuff like that, and different car reliability issues. That was
Yeah.
certainly, but what Leclerc did well is that he timed his engine and like his start very well with the lights, so he got that initial push that a lot of other drivers didn't. But what I see from this race is that I think a lot of drivers are learning how to use their new cars, especially
Definitely.
with the new regulations, and you can kind of see them understand the cars better as they utilize different strategic choices, whether they're opening up their wings or whether they're overtaking or whether they're conserving energy or having the boost. Honestly, having the boost, it reminded me a lot about Formula E, which is
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
electric. And they have this like, because it's all electric, they have to conserve energy in a way, and they can choose to have like this like power mode where you go faster, and like more of a like a recharge mode when you're driving but it's still recharging the car, stuff like that. And yeah, I personally not a big fan of the whole hybrid situation because I come with the mindset of like it's a motorsport.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
came here to watch cars, that are not electric. And previous years, yeah, they were hybrid, not as much. But this year, they're really utilizing the hybridness. I have mixed feelings about that, but we'll see as the also like the different car reliability issues has been.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
quite
I
a-
think the first half of the season, if not more, will be a lot of testing because they can't really do much more maintenance to the cars,
Right.
but it'll be for the drivers figuring out what do I do when do I press the buttons, when do I change from fuel to actual like to the energy. So there I imagine there'll be a lot of DNFs, there will be a lot of people in high positions being in low positions, and the rankings will all be strange. I imagine by the second half of the season, everyone will have their bearings, and so it'll get a lot more competitive. But there will be a very big learning curve at the start.
I do hope so in terms of the cars itself. I know that Oscar Piastri wasn't able to compete in the Melbourne, although it's his home race. He wasn't able to because, before the race, the drivers like go around the laps,
Yeah.
whatever, and he had this accident, and it just like it wrecked the car, damaged the car so bad that he couldn't compete,
Yeah.
which was quite, it was sad because people were there's a lot of big fans of not only McLaren but also Oscar, and it's
Yeah,
his home race, and
definitely.
people go there to watch their Australian driver perform, and he doesn't even get to start. Not only Oscar, Nico Hülkenberg was also unable to start, and I know there were big reliability issues with Aston Martin. Even Aston Martin's team principal, and he was team principal Adrian Newey, who was also the aerodynamicist and big mechanical engineer when it comes to these F1 cars. He was saying that Fernando Alonso couldn't finish the what's it called, like the laps
Yeah.
in like 25, and like Lance Stroll struggled to do it in 15, and they were talking about how like the severe purposing of the car was causing maybe permanent nerve damage if the
Oh,
racers
wow.
continue to drive in that car. And it really made me think, like, because porpoising is when the cars go up and down because of the downforce that's generated by the car. So, when we're imagining racing, you're not racing like completely smooth. Like the drivers' heads are like bobbing
Yeah.
constantly up and
There's
down.
so much G-force
Right.
put on them.
And not only that, it's like the chief race engineer, who was ex-chief race engineer and is now team principal, is saying that my drivers could possibly get nerve damage from driving this car, and the fact that both of the Aston Martin cars, so Alonso and Stroll, weren't able to finish. It's just, it's a horrible start to
Yeah.
Aston Martin completely.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially like Alonso didn't even finish the race. Lance Stroll getting last he finished, but he got last by 15 laps.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, with the person in second last losing by 3 laps. It's just Aston Martin has had technical issues before, and even with the racers, but it's very much an unfortunate start to the season.
This is more on the car itself than the drivers. And I know, normally, like, there's no point in finishing that race if you're 15 laps behind, but they were doing it to gather more data and to learn from what was happening with the car, and I really hope they get their bearings soon. And it wasn't only Aston Martin with car reliability issues. It's like this car formula is quite difficult to get in terms of how was it Isaac Hadjar, Red Bull, his car, also,
yeah, it broke down.
Yeah, broke down. Same thing with Valtteri Bottas and Cadillac.
Yeah.
And I know those 4 didn't really finish the race in time. And also, when we look at this race, it was quite interesting because Max started 17th because he, spun out in Q1, I believe. And he climbed all the way up to P7. So he gained, 14, 13 positions-ish? Yeah, something like that, which was great. But the gap between Lando and Max, Lando was the place above Max, so they kept fighting to overtake each other.
Yeah.
The gap was it was around 1 to 2 seconds, which is not bad, which is the average, between the cars.
It's a good car's length.
Right. When it comes to the gap between Lando and, I believe, was it Hamilton or
Hamilton.
Hamilton. The gap was 30 seconds at one point.
Yeah.
Which is, there were a lot of 30-second second gap in between the racers for that race. It was just so fascinating because, man, the Mercedes were quick. The Mercedes were fast.
They were fast. But Ferrari as well, they did a really good job keeping up with them.
Yeah. No, Mercedes and Ferrari, I think they got their formula down. I believe Max maybe could have potentially gotten podium if he didn't have to start all the way from the back.
Yeah.
But also knowing that there was the 30-second gap between Hamilton and Norris is just very alarming in terms of they really need to get everybody, not everybody, but most of these teams really need to get their formula right and quick, fast.
Yes, definitely. And that's where the learning curve will come in for the teams that get the formula down, and the drivers who understand the cars the best, the fastest, will definitely have such a lead. Even with Leclerc, as you were saying, he kind of understood how to drive the car, and that led him to get a really
good
lead.
Jump start in the beginning.
Yeah.
But the problem with the beginning is I know that Liam Lawson, he was stalling his car, or there was some kind of issue with him starting the car and having to go. So Franco Colapinto had to basically, uses reaction time and like
Yeah.
swerve out of the way
Yeah.
of Liam, because if he had rear-ended Liam, it could have been potential death. It would have been a
Yeah.
really
A bad
huge,
situation.
yes,
Yeah.
in turn one. So I'm glad that he was able to dodge that. But knowing that the drivers are having a hard time starting their car and even understanding how to utilize the different energies of like the hybridness of the car, it was just, yeah, definitely a steep learning curve. But when it comes to definitely the newer drivers like Lindbad, I think he placed in the points, did he?
I believe so. He wasn't top like 6, but
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
still points.
Yeah, like that is huge for a rookie like him. And also knowing that, man, the Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff, when they zoomed in on, he looked so happy. He knew they had Mercedes rockets. And I believe during the race, when they were racing, Mercedes had older tires than Ferrari at one point. I don't know if I'm wrong, but they weren't stressed out about it. Like, it was only for a few laps. Like, their tires were still, but when it comes to tire degradation, I'm pretty sure Mercedes had higher tire deg than Ferrari. But even then, they were like, okay, we still got this in the bag, kind of. They were very cool about it, and
they were calm and collected. They knew what was going on. They knew they had the car that could win this race, and they were confident with it.
And Toto looked very happy, very pleasant with himself.
Yeah. I'm excited for this new car. I think it'll spice things up. I think it'll make it a more interesting races to see how the drivers perform with this new style. It will definitely come with some different changes in the general leaderboard, but I think that'll be interesting. It makes it so some of the smaller teams are able to push forward a bit. Some of the bigger teams like Red Bull, they'll have to change things up a bit. It won't be the confidence that they've always had. It'll be interesting to see how these changes reflect in each of the teams. And I'm looking forward to it for a different kind of season. It's not, as you were saying, the same heavy motorsport, but it adds a level of strategy to it that I think will be really interesting to see how the drivers, and especially the older drivers, contend with.
Right. I mean, that's why partly the reason why FIA changes the car regulations every year, and also like have like huge changes, whether they change engines going from like V12, V8, whatever engine, but it's definitely to change the playing field when it comes to motorsports. And also I know that if you win certain amount of championships, or like if you won the championship last year as a constructor, you get less wind tunnels, so you get less time to test the aerodynamics. And obviously the lower teams and the teams that have less funding, like Williams, they will get more time the wind tunnels to see how their car is doing, get more testing in. One thing before the race and during the testing, I know, what was it? It was Williams who was having issues, and I know before the race, Ferrari was having some issues. But the fact that those two cars actually didn't do too bad when it comes to the race itself in Melbourne, it was quite like, wow, they really got their things together in the end.
Yeah. Overall, though, I think whether these changes are good or bad, it'll be shown throughout the rest of the season, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, it's Amelia, founder of Sheridanlife Radio. If you're listening to this and are wondering how podcasts like this even happen, the answer is students like you. Sheridanlife Radio is a student-run station where you can get involved in podcasting, radio hosting, music programming, production, journalism, and creative leadership. No experience required. If you want real media experience while you're still in school, this is where it starts. Head to Sheridanlife Radio and get involved.
I'm more excited for Russell. I hated Russell. He came across as such...
He's confident. He's very suave.
I just didn't like the way he came across, and when he was like talking about Max, and Max is lashing out with unnecessary anger. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then we have this moment of like, there is like polygraph interview with Russell, and they're like, did you crash into people on purpose? And he's like really thinking about it, and he says yes. Did he say yes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
he said, and it's like, you can't be saying that Max is lashing out with unnecessary anger.
Yeah.
And be crashing into people on purpose. Like, come on, you gotta pick a struggle.
Yeah, both him
Uh,
and Antonelli of
Oh my God.
Mercedes. Yeah.
Yeah, but Antonelli, it's like he's a rookie and like he
Yeah.
didn't really, like Max was more forgiving with Antonelli, definitely. But Russell, it's like it's different when you're doing it on purpose
Yeah,
versus
definitely. Yeah.
it's like a racing incident that
Yeah.
happened.
So why are you looking forward to him this year then?
Oh, because you know what? Russell, I hated him, but he has grown on me. He has grown on me in terms of I hated how Russell looked. I hated how he talked. I hated the things he would talk
Yeah.
because it would just rub me the wrong way. But now it's like he's likable because I understand Russell's driving style more. And I
Interesting.
appreciate his driving style more in terms of the things he is doing and like the confidence he has gained and the funnier he's become. And yeah, sometimes Russell says like cringy one-liners and or like the interview things
Yeah.
because but
But that's his charm,
that's his charm.
It is who he is.
He has like the like he looks like a European sailor. Like he has the loafers with the ankle showing pants, like Tommy Hilfiger with the sweater wrapped around his neck.
Yeah.
It's like that is who Russell is. He is very much, that's how I put it.
Yeah. But hey, like he's driving well. Hopefully his car keeps up and he's able to keep his positions. Yeah, because he got first this race.
I know Carlos Sainz, when asked about who he thinks is going to win the world championship this year, he said Russell and Max.
Oh, interesting.
He thinks it's either going to, and he said he wouldn't elaborate, but when it comes to Russell, I can see it. He has grown as a person, as a driver, and he has gotten better at racing. I hope he drives more cleanly.
Yeah.
But
the other big thing, he's still young. Like
Russell's what, 26, 27?
Yeah, he's late 20s.
Something like that.
Compared to drivers like Hamilton or Verstappen, he's kind of still in his prime. He's obviously not a rookie, but he's got plenty of years left to develop himself.
Oh yeah, for sure. But if he's supposedly to win the world championship, I think it'd be best now than later or never.
Yeah.
Because I think what happened with the previous season, with 2025 with Norris, is that he had the car necessary, and it's also like the team was backing him up and everything kind of lined up in terms of there were blunders from Red Bull and obviously there were blunders from McLaren as well, but it was a tight championship with 2 points gap in between Norris and Max. But I hope if it comes to that kind of situation, whether Mercedes or McLaren has a better car, my money is on Russell.
Wow.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Jenny has her money on Russell, and we'll see at the end of the season how that goes.
Russell or Max, but yeah, no. I love Max. He's my profile picture. Like I love this guy, but I really want to see Russell win.
I'm actually looking forward to Leclerc this season.
Oh,
I think like Ferrari doesn't have the best like reputation anymore. Obviously, they're a good name, but it's kind of just a name. But after this race, I feel like even if the car may not be there, Leclerc has the skills to push himself to that. We'll see as the season goes on, but I don't know. I just like him this year. I think he has a chance because previous years he's done good. He's been a staple name.
Mm-hmm.
He's never been
had the car or the support from Ferrari.
Yeah. So I feel like either he does really good this year or it's kind of his last year with Ferrari.
That's the thing. He's been with Ferrari for so long. It's like people were thinking, oh, is it time for him to let go of Ferrari, join some other teams? But I think what he's been doing is like he's been building himself up with the team, and not letting go of Ferrari yet was a good call from Leclerc. But also in terms of Ferrari being a very prominent franchise and team name, in terms of back when the Red Baron, Michael Schumacher, was winning like 7 titles, world championships. With, he was the Red Baron. He was red because of Ferrari. Like this is like 2 synonymous identities together that creates world championships, like winners in terms of world championships. But that was 90s.
Yeah.
Early 2000s even. And that era is over in terms of it's been a while because Mercedes had their dominant era. Red Bull had their dominant era, and we haven't seen the dominant era from Ferrari yet. So right now, Toto is looking so confident that I think that Toto thinks that his car is better than Ferrari.
And honestly, I think it is better. Even seeing this race, Mercedes their car was faster. I think
They were very
Leclerc's
confident.
driving was potentially better, but it got to a point where the Mercedes car just overtook Ferrari, and
Yeah.
towards the last few laps, they just took the lead, and that's how both Russell and Antonelli
Yeah.
got the P1, P2 positions, while Leclerc
They
and
weren't
Hamilton...
sweating.
Yeah.
They weren't sweating at
But
all.
Leclerc and Hamilton, they kind of were.
Yeah.
It felt like they were really pushing themselves, while Mercedes was kind of just laid back, and it just shows the difference between the cars, and that's what led Mercedes to get P1, P2, and Ferrari to get P3, P4.
I really want there to be another Ferrari dominant era, especially because I hear that, you know, being a Ferrari fan is just like, you like pain.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
you're
it's-
not really expecting a lot, but you know, the fan energy is there.
Yeah.
And I really hope they grab this and like really take it back. But
I don't know if they can do... They need 2 rookies to do that. Leclerc, that's fine. Hamilton, they're holding on to something that I don't think is there. He has potential, but he's also been driving for what, 15 years?
he's still doing fairly well in terms of like he finished right below Leclerc.
He
which is
did,
to be
and I think
expected.
his positions are fine. It's just he doesn't necessarily have a future
As a world championship.
as a world champion.
But maybe that's not what they want. Maybe they
That's
want him to
true.
play defensive more.
Yeah, I just think for them to have a like the Ferrari year, or for like several years of the Ferrari,
Maybe
I
not.
think they need to make some changes for that.
Maybe because Hamilton, one thing I'll say is that he has been dating Kim Kardashian.
Yes, and that's big.
And that's big, not only because who was he dating? It was Nicole something.
I'm not sure. I don't
She was
remember.
like a famous,
but
like,
yeah, some
yeah.
yeah.
She was also a celebrity. And he dumped her, or they broke up because he wanted to focus on his championship. And he has
Yeah.
been single for so long because he has been so adamant about like, I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to grow as a person. I'm going to get this 8th, 7th, 6th, whatever, how
Yeah.
many championships it takes. And when he started dating Kim Kardashian, I was seeing like similarities in terms of their looks between Kim and Nicole.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, did Hamilton give up on trying to become a world championship
And now he's looking
winner?
to settle down.
And now
like-
he's because you know
Yeah.
he's old, and like so many drivers has been getting married or engaged before. Like Charles
Yeah.
Leclerc got married to what's her name,
I don't remember her name, but
Alexandra
yeah.
something.
with their dog.
Yeah, Leo. Yeah, the dog Leo. I remember the dog, but
Yeah,
not. Oh my
yeah.
god, it's so bad.
I think that says something.
But also Alex Albon and Lily. Is it Lily or Millie? I forgot. I think they got engaged or
Yeah.
something. And then when Hamilton was asked about like, you know, the whole situation, he's like, I can't give this guy any, you know, like advice because he's not married.
Yeah.
He doesn't have kids. Like he doesn't know what he would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe because in terms of F1 drivers and racing and family, I know that they don't have enough time with their family, and I know it was a big contention because Checo back when 2024 he was saying like, I really don't really get time with my wife. I
Yeah.
don't really get time with my children and stuff like that because they're constantly moving around the globe, constantly racing, constantly testing.
Yeah.
And Alonso, you know, he's what 30
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
late 30s,
Late 30s.
doesn't have children, is not married. He isn't married, right? I
No,
know he has a
he-
girlfriend now.
I don't believe he's married though, and
No.
definitely no kids.
No kids. And that's the price he paid to be so engulfed in the racing
Yeah.
scene. It's just that like they set these rules for themselves in terms of, hey, I'm not gonna date. And same thing with Yuki. He's like, no dating,
Yeah,
just focusing
just-
on racing.
But you know what? He's not really racing anymore. So maybe he makes his little sushi shop. He settles
Yeah.
down.
But that's the thing about different F1 drivers and their different mentalities is like some people rather focus on racing entirely, and that comes at a cost of not having a family
Yeah.
that of your own.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Hamilton is kind of shifting gears in terms of like, I want my family.
Yeah. And that's honestly understandable because he's what? Early to mid 30s? Like you get to a point where you want to settle down and that kind of becomes your focus.
but with Kim Kardashian.
But with Kim Kardashian. So
this
that's
is a
like-
wrench.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I don't know if Kim is someone you would settle down with, knowing her like
Her
she's
past,
been
her
with
everything, yeah.
Kanye West, Pete Davidson,
Yeah.
like, and now Lewis Hamilton. It's just like
Yeah, it's a really strange dynamic, but you know what? Good for him.
Good for him, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't personally. I'm not the biggest fan.
Yeah, me neither. But you know what? Hey, if it's good for him, and it again, it shows where his potential mind is for changes in Ferrari, and that'll be interesting to see.
I just wonder, like, what would Lewis and Kim would talk about? Like, what would their dinner table? Hey, babe, I just came. I mean, like, she'd be like, "Hey, babe," and then like Lewis would be like, "I just came back from Ferrari. It
Yeah.
sucked. This is a garbage bin," and then she'd be like, "Oh, look at this new Gucci bag. I don't know, something like that." And then it's just like, what?
I think I can't imagine what their conversations are like. I just imagine they're
Because
both
Kim comes
rich.
across as like such like
Yeah.
a shallow person who
Yeah.
doesn't care about like what Kim what Kanye West said about Kim is like, it's like, can you believe we don't have a jacuzzi? And he kept like mocking her, and it's like, this is what I think about Kim.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like, I don't think she
Very
cares about
surface
racing at
level.
all.
Oh,
I think
God,
she just
no.
only cares about like the money in it,
And
the
his
scandals
name,
in it,
yeah.
his namesake, and it's just like, I don't know.
Listen, if they're happy, I'm happy for them. But I honestly, I don't see it
I
going
don't
anywhere.
think Lewis would get married to her. I think
No.
he's just looking for some like fun, because there's
Yeah.
been like rumors with Lewis with Shakira, and it's just
Oh,
like,
interesting.
yeah, no, this is before
Yeah,
Kim, like
yeah,
way
yeah.
before, but it's just you never know with these F1 drivers.
Hey,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's just looking to have some fun on the side of F1 every now and then. Yeah.
Oh God, this is painful to think of.
Yeah.
But you know, with Formula One culture, wives, and girlfriends.
Yeah.
So the wags of Formula One, they've always been not an important part of racing itself. I mean, they used to be. They used to be very important for racing itself because they used to keep times.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
back then they used to keep times of their boyfriends like coming in, so they would be the timekeepers for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
But now, you know, because everything is much more digital,
It's
and more-
automated. Yeah.
so it's a lot more accurate, and the wags play a less important role in the race itself. But
Yeah.
in terms of like pop culture and like the different in terms of bringing in more fans, I definitely think they play a big role. Like Charles's wife now, or I don't know, are they married? Like, are they engaged?
They're
married.
married. They're married.
Right. No, she was like, because of Charles, like she gained a lot of popularity, and then
Yeah.
you know she's now like a model for bigger companies, and I've seen her like on like clothing stores. I'm like, I know her. She's familiar.
It's her. Yeah.
It's her, and I think it's just that exposure that helps with like pop culture, and it's just so crazy to think
Yeah.
that dating someone can change your life like that in terms of your own exposure and launching your own career.
Yeah, definitely. I think there are two sides of it, I think, where one side is you date for that fame, whatever. I feel like I don't know a lot about Charles' relationship, but I feel like it's pure. I think they fell in love outside of Formula One, and then it kind of grew from there. But like, there's definitely going to be a lot of gold digging, a lot of like doing it for the fame.
Yeah.
And hey, you know what? Maybe that's what Lewis Hamilton wanted. He wanted someone who was already famous. He didn't want any of those shenanigans.
That's fair. I mean, when I look at the different couples in F1, is certainly different people come from different, like, however rich they are. I know there was some controversy when it comes to Lando Norris's partner or girlfriend, because she was dating this football player, like a soccer player, for a little bit, and then like she dumped him and like went for Lando, and then it's just like this whole debacle, and it's just who's dating who, and it's a drama of it, and people really love drama, so we need that.
Hey, I love drama. It's my favorite part of Formula One.
And it's just like there's so much scandals in terms of not even Max, but like Kelly Piquet, who you know Max is with, and she was dating Daniel Kivat, and then you know they had a children, and then Daniel lost his seat to Max, you know,
and then
now Max is dating Kelly, and it's just like stuff like that. It's F1 scene has always been quite
even like there's always going to be drama between the drivers themselves, but it does go beyond that.
Right.
Yeah,
certainly. I mean, I wish I was dating an F1 driver.
Yeah, it'd kind of be a good life.
Hinted nudge to my
any
friends.
of the F1 drivers out there, Jenny.
No.
Yeah.
I'd like to be like a reporter. I don't know about.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to be like a cameraman.
No,
Or like any
cameraman's
of the
cool.
drone flyers. Those guys are really cool who follow the cars with their
That's
cameras.
true.
Those ones are cool.
Yeah. So you know what? You personally, what is your prediction on who is going to win the World Championship
Oh,
this
that's
year?
tough.
Cold.
Oh,
I'll let you pick at least 3.
yeah. Okay. Top 3. I think I have to say Verstappen.
Verstappen, of
You
course.
have to say it, obviously.
But you love Charles.
I do like Charles. It's just whether his car and his team is going to be able to back him up.
Right.
I don't think he's going to win. I think he's going to get podium. Like he may be second or third. I don't think his team has what it takes to get the championship, especially as other teams sort of adapt to the new cars.
Yeah.
So I would agree with Russell. And then, because,
Russell's doing great right
he
now.
is doing really great.
He's off to a
Mercedes
great
has
start.
his back. And then, honestly, I may say Norris again. I think Norris. I know is a curse word. I think McLaren has the potential to have another good year. I'm not the biggest fan of Norris, but I think if his team has his back, he's a good enough driver to be able to get there.
Right.
And he's shown that he can outperform some of the other big drivers, but it's like the last year, it's very circumstantial on the other teams.
It was close.
Yeah, it's very circumstantial on
because-
whether he can get the car to his favor if the team can figure that out. But I think he's a maybe.
Okay. My top 3, Max, because he's such a reliable driver in terms of the skill is there, and he can make a pretty poopy car work for him. In terms of hey, if the second driver is like P17 whatever, Max will still be in like the top 10.
Yes, definitely.
So I think just him being a reliable driver and just being such a skilled driver, he's definitely in my top 3. I'll also go with Russell because Russell has that experience. He's built himself. He's off with a great car franchise, which is Mercedes, AMG, Petronas.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still go by that name, but yeah.
Yeah.
And my third, I really want Oscar.
Okay, I agree with you. I really want Oscar. I love Oscar. I don't know if he can do it.
It's just he's been off to a pretty bad start.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't been able to race this last week.
Yeah.
But when it comes to him gaining confidence in himself and learning from his previous mistake from last season, I think, because he was leading the world championship at one point.
Yeah.
And I hope he can get that spark back and get that, like that car rolling again.
Yeah. Like I agree for the same reasons that like as long as McLaren has Piastri's back, I just think they're going to put their efforts into Norris.
They did last year.
Yeah, and I think that's going to kind of try to happen again, especially because Norris won last year. They still see him as the one.
Yeah.
But this is where I'm really looking forward. I know we just started 2026 season.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to 2027, 28 season because I think that's where the roles are really going to shift, where we see some of these younger drivers like Piastri, like Hajar.
Have a more prominent role, maybe.
They'll have more of a prominent role and sort of take over the lead of some of the older drivers like Hamilton and Verstappen, even Russell as he gets older. But this has been Slipstream podcast. As of the current 2026 standings, after one whole race, we have George Russell of Mercedes with 25 points, Antonelli of Mercedes with 18 points, Leclerc of Ferrari with 15 points, and Hamilton of Ferrari with 12 points. Those are the top 4 leads in the current 2026 seasons. Thank you so much for listening to Slipstream Podcast.